Hi everybody, sanibonani. Welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel sikhuluma ngama reality TV shows, ama celebrities kanye nama YouTubers. If it is your first time joining me today and you really like my content, do not forget to press the subscribe button. If you want to support the channel, there is a like button. So today I want to do a full review of the show, the Bala Family, and we are going to do, this was episode 11, and it's a second last episode because I believe that they only have 12 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. So we are almost close to the end, you guys, and it's been such a pleasure to watch this show because it's been such a real reality TV for us. It's been great to be able to see them share their lives, and to see that their lives also are not perfect, just like our lives are not perfect. So I've really thoroughly enjoyed the show, and I think that this is a show. Usually with family shows, I would say that they don't need to do more than one season, but this one I feel like we do need another season. Honestly, I would like to see this family come back for another season. So in this episode, you guys, Phelo is dealing with personal issues when it comes to his relationship, or the ending of his relationship with uh, his ex-husband Moshe. So, well, I guess he's not really his ex-husband because I believe that the divorce is not finalized. Yes, yet remember at the beginning of the season, he did say that he was trying to get him to send him the marriage certificate so that they could initiate the divorce. I guess you needed to initiate the divorce, and he wasn't sending it to him. I think there was something like that that he said. So I believe that the divorce is not finalized yet, or at least at the point where they are shooting the show. So he had been told by friends that Moshe had announced that he's expecting twins, you guys. So obviously, if you break up with somebody and they look like they have moved on, because Moshe has moved on, Moshe is expecting the twin babies. Moshe has a new man, and you are still stuck in a place where you are still trying to deal with the breakup. It's not nice, okay? And in addition to that, I do feel like Uphelo Vele, ngathi he is dealing with depression and anxiety. And then he's dealing with this relationship. So it adds to that, you know. And maybe that's the reason he drinks as much as he is drinking, and he's not able to cope with life. From everything that Upelo has said, he still loves Moshe. I really feel like if Moshe had said to him, let's get back together, he probably would. Okay. But we all know that that relationship was very volatile. There was a time where they were physical with each other. So it wasn't good for him. You know, I think that rather than focus on the fact that he loves Umushe so much, I would like to see him focus on finding ways to move on. You know, like I understand that he loves him. I understand that he wanted to have a future with him. But now you can see the guy is moving on. The guy has a man, he's having a baby. He doesn't care where you are with your life. He's moving on with his life. So I would love to see Uphelo naye moves on, you guys. So he is saying that he feels himself getting back into a dark place because of that situation. And also, you guys, why did Moshe announce the babies on Pelo's birthday? Do you think that there was a coincidence that he did that on his birthday? Do you think he forgot that it was Pelo's birthday? I thought that was cruel. That was mean. You know, that was so mean, because you know that this person is going to be affected by such news, especially because it sounds like they were planning a future together. So he is hurt by that the announcement was made on his birthday. So he feels himself getting into a dark place. I do feel like Upelo does need some kind of therapy, you guys. He's going through something, and he's going through something that only he can understand what it is and the kind of help that he needs. But he can't just be talking about getting into a dark place all the time and the anxiety that he has, but not getting any help. I really feel like he needs to get some professional help. Okay, so the next scene it was Uzwai and his kids, which we don't get a lot because I guess they don't shoot a lot in Joburg, and he is the one that actually lives in Joburg, and his kids live in Joburg. So he was with his son and his daughter, and he was trying to get his daughter to sing. So they were like having some music lessons, and he said that he recently he has made a commitment to spend more time with his kids. So it was cute to see, you guys. It really was. I do wonder how much time Zoe's kids spend with Pinky and the mother, since Pinky and Zoe's mother have such complaints when it comes to Jen and her kids, and her not wanting the kids to spend time with them. Anyway, it was a cute scene. We get to hear Zoe's daughter sing a little bit, and he's talking about how much he feels like she needs a little bit of, boost in terms of confidence, but she's quite good. I feel like she was good too when she was singing. Anyway, you guys, then we get Upinki going out with her friend Usindi, and she was just giving her friend an update when it comes to her life. The fact that now she's back home with her mom and dad. Not dad, but after I guess dad, because it's a it's a stepfather. And listen, you guys, I don't know how Pinky's financial situation is like, but I'm just thinking, you guys, how difficult that is to move back home, to actually move back home. I know that when you leave marriage, you know, uh, you move back home, okay, but you don't actually have to like move back home, like go and live with your mother. You can get your own place, so I wonder if it's an issue of finances that she's not able to just get her own place, even if it's just a one-bedroom flat somewhere, and just live there with. And then her daughter, when she's coming back from school, she can go there, because you guys, it's very difficult to live with our mothers. And especially when you've had your own house with your own kids and made your own rules and all of that, it becomes very, very difficult to live back at home, because you want to make the rules in the space that you're in. As a woman, you want to put a cup here, and there you want the broom to be there behind the cupboard, when your mother wants the broom to be there by the bed, by the bedroom or something. Like, there's always things like that. So I just wonder why she made a decision to actually like move back home instead of just getting her own place, even though she's no longer married. Okay. And her mom is like young and fresh. She doesn't need to be taken care of. So that is not the reason. Also, Jafta is there if her mother needs somebody to take care of her. So I don't know, you guys. I'm just not sure why she decided to do that, because it looks like it's coming with a lot of challenges, especially because she has to interact not only with her mother, but has to interact with Ubab Jafta as well. And Ubab Jafta, no matter, they are just in love. They are lovey-dovey there by the house. While when you are divorced now, I just don't know, you guys. I don't know if it was a good idea to move back home. I would like to hear from her why uh, she made that decision to actually move back home. So then she starts talking about a relationship with Jen, and she started telling her friend Guti they did have a sit down with Jen, and it didn't go as well. And then she makes a comment that I really honestly didn't understand. And she says that she does not understand why Jen is driving her marriage. You know, and I did say that in my last review, and I know that I sound mean when I say it. I don't know why Pinky is so concerned with Jen and Loiso's marriage, and the only marriage that she was supposed to be focused on was her own. And not to be mean, you guys, I really don't. And she says that Jen is driving the marriage, and she's bothered by it. I just feel like whether Jen is driving the marriage or Lois is driving the marriage, the fact that the marriage is working and both the people seem happy, then it should be none of their business. The family must mind their own business when it comes to their marriage. Okay. But I like Pinky's friend Usindi. Okay. I like it because just because Pinky is her friend, she was not like, hey, Mgani, all right, Vele, why is she driving the marriage and all of that? She was like, but as a woman, sometimes you've been married yourself, that there are times when you have to take leadership as a woman, because if you don't, sometimes your men won't, you know, and you have to do things, you have to be the one that is active in the marriage and all of that. And maybe that's the position that Jen is in, where when she feels like Lois is not taking leadership in certain things because she has a stronger personality, she's going to do that. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. And I also liked the fact that Upinki was not defensive when she was giving that advice. It was, no, but look at it this way. You've been married before. Have you not been in a position where you feel like, even though you are a woman, but you have to take leadership because your man is not? Okay. And I like the fact that Upinki listened to that advice. Okay. And then we did or they did have that conversation about the divorce, if she's over divorce. I thought that Pinky had been recently divorced, but they talk about her being like 10 years in, divorced for 10 years now. And I was like, oh, this is not even a new thing with her getting divorced. Okay. So then we did get Umama with Uchafta walking by the beach. Yes, the Bala mother is just trolling you guys. Uyasijolela nje akazingeni ezinye, But they did have a contribution, contribution, a conversation where she was talking about wanting to contribute more when it comes to Jafta's family. She feels like she married into the Jafta family, but she hasn't really made that much difference when it comes to the lives of Jafta's kids. And honestly, I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like they should just leave it as it is, where they are just, the two of them are just in a relationship, and then let the kids live their own lives, because these are grown up kids. It's not like kids that are still needing to be raised. Abadinga ukukhuliswa. Just let them be, and you will interact with them when you need to interact with them, but don't insert yourself in their lives because they're already grown. And yeah, but they were just having that conversation. And then we did get Uchen with her friends as well. They were just going out, I think, for coffee or something. And then one friend does pull her aside to have a conversation. She also has a conversation where she's talking about her meeting with Pinky and how it went. I also liked this friend, got Jen, because she tried to make her understand a position got Pinky. She was like, listen, because Jen's issue with the Bala family is that she has been with the family for 12 years. How come now people want things to be done different? How come now they want her to dress different? How come now they want her to wear the duke? How come now they want to spend time with the kids when there was not the issue before? And her friend says, listen, you have to be mindful of the fact that before you were not living close by, and also you were not spending time together. Remember, they just moved to GQ, and also they are doing the show together. So before, they were not forced to spend time together. So all of those issues were not being raised because they did not see the need. They were not around her. Now they are around each other a lot. So when you're around the person, then you start picking up things that you wouldn't have picked up if you were not spending time with them. So you have to be aware of the fact that there are going to be certain demands now that you're spending more time together. And I like that advice because I think that that's what it is. Part of it, by the way, part of it, because I feel like part of it is just the fact that Pinky and Lois's mother just don't like Ojen. They don't like her. That's a part of it. But part of it is the fact that they are now living close by, and also they are shooting the show together, so they always have to be together. So these things will be these issues will be raised a lot. Okay, so that was the episode for today. And then we did get a scene where Uzwai does go to the gravesite. Katukulo, who was a band member, they were in the same band together. It's Listen, you guys, Uzwai is very unemotional when it comes to his family. Okay, he loves his family, but he doesn't really get emotional about issues with his family, or the struggles when it comes to the relationships in the family. He's unemotional about it. So it was quite something to see him being emotional when he goes to the gravesite to see Tukulo's tombstone. And he says, this is what he says: this is a mistake that we make. as people, ne? Because he does say that, one thing that he regrets when it comes to Tukolo is that he never really had like real conversations with him when he was alive. Okay. And he's really sad about that, and he's mourning that loss. And this is what I was thinking when he was saying that. And I was like, do you understand that actually that's exactly how you're going to feel should one of your brothers pass, God forbid, okay? If one of his brothers had to pass, he would feel exactly the same thing because he's still not having those real conversations with his brothers. Because I'm still to waiting for a time where Uzwai and Nopelo will have a real man-to-man conversation without judgment and without speaking at Upelo about the things that Upelo needs to fix and all of that. Like, just be real about life because Zoe is also not perfect, and Zoe's life is also not perfect, and that is something that Upelo complains about. Because sometimes the family is not real; they act like he's the only one with problems when everybody has problems. So it was sad for me to think ukuthi, exactly the way that he feels about Utukulo, where he feels like he wishes they had had like real man-to-man conversations when he was like alive. They spent a lot of time together, but they never really talked. You know, I feel like that's an opportunity for you to learn that actually that's what you're supposed to do with your brothers right now while they are alive, because at least they're still here. Okay. And also he did have a performance. I think it was a TKZ performance. So Kabelo was there, but his brother Uloiso was not there. Remember, Uloiso was part of TK's family, and I think was why he was upset about the fact that Loiso couldn't make the time to go to that performance. I guess he was busy with his own performance, but it was a great performance. It was great to see them, to see Zwei and Kabelo perform together. Okay. I do wonder how that relationship is like between Uzwai and Kabelo, because they don't show us anything behind the scenes during the show. They just showed us them performing, and it looked like it was a great performance. But I do wonder if they get along outside of them being on stage. Okay, so that's all that we saw in this episode, you guys. It really was an enjoyable episode. I look forward to the finale episode. I still feel really good about this show, and I hope that they really have a good show for us when it comes to like the last episode. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegiona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Ntando kakhulu.